In progress.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rana Ravi from Committee on MSME and Startup. I would like to welcome our speaker, Sir CA Deepak Gupta sir, and our coordinator, CA Sachin Dargan sir, for today's Pathshala session. Today's our topic will be Karnataka State MSME Policy. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Dargan sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is CA Sachin Dargan, and I am a managing partner at Big Pocket, where we focuses specialized solutions to business, particularly MSMEs. We are into the funding of all the MSMEs with in various products. We are based out in Delhi, and I would like to invite Mr. Deepak Gupta as a speaker for Karnataka policy on MSMEs, and I would like to introduce him. Deepak Gupta has 20 plus years of experience across all the geographies in India. He's certified public accountant. He's an MBA from ISB School, Hyderabad. He's also a chartered accountant, Indian CPA, and company secretary. He started his career in consulting. Deepak served in multiple companies in leadership role. He's running a management consultancy company in India for last 6 years, focusing only on business and operational advisories, fundraising, setting up of global capability center for foreign companies. He served 100 plus corporates across the globe on various finance, business, and operational areas. He started his career in consulting, working in E&Y and Deloitte also in various telecom, IT, and ITES projects. He also worked in leadership role in telecom and SAS companies. He is the founder of Estravis Business Solutions, providing business advisory and executive service on finance, operations, capability centers, and M&A transactions. He set up multiple offshore development centers in India for catering towards IT development and design and detailing solutions. He is a guest speaker in various government and professional bodies like FICCI, NASSCOM, ISB, ICAI on various finance and general management topics. He actively writes articles on various finance and operational topics in national magazines and newsletters. He is also an active member of TIE, FICCI, NASSCOM, and other professional bodies. He believes in perseverance, persistence, hard work are the pillars of success. In his free time, he loves listening to music, playing sports of any kind, and spending time with family. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sachinji. Really appreciate Raviji for coordinating and emailing. It's not easy stuff. And thanks for coordinating. Thanks for moderating this session. Thanks a lot, Sachinji, for introducing me. Um, Really happy and privileged to be part of ICAI MSME Pathshala session. And it's, like in our Hindu system, we call it 51 as an auspicious number, right? So I see that today is 51st. I'm 42-year-old, and I think I'm associated with MSME sector for last 42 years because my father was running a small SME business long back in Calcutta. So small steel melting shop and other things. And that's how, like grown in a Marwari family. And I understand, like how difficult it is to run a SME business 22 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades back. And what's the situation now? Definitely, I will try to cover the glimpse of what SME was, is, and how the policy structure and framework is in Karnataka. And also, I will try to capture how it is, like compared to the Indian in US, and mention that which of the industries in Karnataka are getting severely hit. Though there is a rollback of the tariff yesterday, but still, some of the companies are getting hard hit by tariff. At the same time, there are a few companies which are mildly hit, and few companies, definitely sectors will grow well after this tariff, tariff kicked in last few days. All right. So,
Deepakji, interrupting you, sorry. So we will have also some questions and doubts from our audiences, so
sure,
that we can cater maybe. So it's a 2 hour session. So we will try that we should cater. You would be the speaker for first hour, and then we will take some question and answers, and then again we in the last 5 minutes we can again take some questions on the second hour, right?
sure. So, normally what I do, Sachin, that's a great idea. Along with that, what I do that normally whenever one section get over that takes 10 minute or 15 minute, I always take a pause of a minute or so, answer some of the questions, and in
That would also be fine. That
yeah.
would also be okay for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, I do factor in close to 10 to 15 minutes for conversation because it is difficult to have a monologue. I
Yes,
love
yes, yes. That would be because it's a single, one stop shop only. I mean, you will only be speaking, and then after 1 hour, obviously there may be some questions. So it would be better in 10 to 15 minutes time, we will be taking some questions or doubts from the audiences.
sure, completely agree with you. So have to start with, I have one question for the group. Actually, I'm not able to see where I will get the questions, or if I'm asking for some response, where I will get. If I ask any questions to the group, so is it coming in the chat box or where it will come?
Sir, that will be Sachin sir will ask you the questions.
Okay,
So they are joining in different platform. The
okay,
audience are joining in different platform. So the Zoom is for us only.
So,
okay.
So Sachin sir
Mr.
will
Rana,
ask you questions.
so you are saying that I'll be asking a question, but any question may be asked from the Deepak ji directly only. So audiences is listening, right? So, but they
Yes,
can
yes,
only write on the chat box,
yes, sir.
which
And
I
that
can
I
see.
will send to you.
Okay, and what
Okay.
are the different forums like we are attached in, Ravi?
Sir, just I'm sending you the link. If anyone want to join over there, they can join and ask
No
live
issue, no
sessions.
issue. Perfectly fine. Well,
Okay, sir.
so okay, I thought of asking some question where people can on time they can respond and I can create my further discussion points. I think that model is not possible, so I will tweak it a bit. Not a problem. So can you please allow me to share my screen, Ravi?
Yes, sir. Just a few minutes. Tech support team. Can you make me admin? Yes, sir. It's visible.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, sure. So thank you. It's a great opportunity and privilege for me to present my views and walk you through the Karnataka MSME policies. Thanks a lot, participants, for joining this session. So here we will cover Karnataka MSME policy, and definitely we will revisit. I'm sure you know most of the things you might know about it, but definitely I will give in some color with respect to Karnataka and overall India, how the things are moving. We will redefine, if anything, wherever we believe that something we believe which market needs, but it is not there in those policies or schemes, and we will reconsider that if there are something which we can suggest to the government or suggest to the authorities where our voice can be heard. So some of the agenda definitely we will cover. I'm just skipping this slide. So on the classification side, I'm sure that most of you are aware of the new classification that came into picture from July 2020. Gone are the days when MSMEs are classified on the basis of investment. But now the classification is largely on the basis of investment, and annual turnover also taken into picture. And when we consider the annual turnover, the export turnover is excluded from the classification. And as per the new guidelines, both investment and annual turnover both are considered when any of the entities are classified as micro, small, or medium sector enterprises. Like as per the new classifications, it is for micro, it is less than 1 crore and less than 5 crore of turnover. In case of small enterprises, investment needs to be less than 10 crore of investment and less than 50 crore of annual turnover. In case of medium enterprises, it is less than 50 crore in terms of investments and less than 250 crore in terms of annual turnover. And that is a very significant move that came in July 2020, and it is long pending and long pending demand from the industry, because earlier days the limit was only 10 cr, and this was changed after a long period of time. So this I will take couple of minutes of time in this place to uh, to tell you that how this MSME connotations came into picture and what's the history of it. So when India got independence way back in 1947, at that time there was industries, but it was very secluded and quite concentrated in one or two areas. And at the same time, there's a huge unemployment problem India was facing. So at that point of time, the connotation given to these kind of industries as SSI, small scale industries. And since the major impetus was more on giving the employment, be it of any nature, be it in agri or non-agri, in whichever level. So that's how SSI policy was defined way back in 1950-51, where a lot of impetus was given to the industries which are providing employment, and especially in the SSI sector. Then some more definitions were changed in 80s and 90s, especially after 90s. Some more connotations and impetus was given when the liberalization took place in 1991, and many of the foreign companies started establishing their shops in India. And at that time, a lot of impetus was on the export from India and more on the technology upgradation wherever there can be automation or there can be any manufacturing entities that can be set up in India. So the major evolution came in from 2010 to 2020, when all these changes, whatever we see, took place, where the impetus was given on export technology upgradation, and along with that, creation of IPs. And service sector was also well recognized during that period. Now, when the companies are seeing that their turnover was increasing, their investments are increasing, then a government took a note of the long-standing demand. In 2020, they came up with the idea that both investment and annual turnover will be the right emphasis on which MSMEs can be classified. So now, who makes up this MSME sector? I think this 7.3 crore unit I mentioned, it's in the range of 7.4 to 7.5 crore entities, which contributes to MSME sector. Now, these MSME sectors, this increased the actual number, it is increased by close to 20.1% in numbers, at a CAGR rate of 20.1%, and it is giving employment of close to 180 million people in India. So after agriculture, this is the second largest job giver in India. And that shows its importance. And if I say in Karnataka, there are close to 8.5 lakh MSME entities, which are giving employment to close to 6.5 to 7 million people. In terms of GDP contribution, it is contribute around 6.11%. And on service sector, the GDP contribution of SME sector is close to 25%. Definitely, when you think it from the Karnataka perspective, the GDP rate is largely same, but at the same time, the service activity GDP, which includes the IT and ITES sector as well, this comes to around close to 42%. Now, when we come to the Udyam and UAP registration, close to 3.6 crore entities are registered under new MSME portal, Udyam portal, and 2.7 crore is an old UAP portal. I'm really happy to share this information that In 2020, I think it is in 2020, way back in October, November, ICAI started with MSME course. And at that time, when I created the slide, first time when I created these slides, at that time, this number, Udyam portal number, was standing at close to 32 lakhs. Right. So we surpassed all the expectations in terms of the growth that we will achieve in Udyam registration. And together as a professional body, we created a strong push. And now we can see that total number of SMEs which are registered in the portal is close to 3.6 CR. That is more than 11 times of what number we have, what number I'm saying 4.5 years back. That is phenomenal growth. In terms of growth trajectory, you can see the number till 22, 23, because officially the number for 24, 25 not came till now. The annual report of 24, 25 is not available. 23, 24 is largely the same number, wherein the SME share for the GDP is standing around close to 30%. And in terms of exports, SME contributes close to 50%. Now, in terms of distribution, you can see that the majority of the MSME, when we call MSME, it stands for micro, small, and medium sector. So in this MSM, I will say that in micro, small, and medium, the micro contributes close to 88% of the entities. And now after that, close to 11.5% is medium, small, and 0.5% contributes the medium enterprises. Now, when many times I get a question in these kind of forums that, when government is talking about the Mudra loan or many other incentives or initiatives, at times, like in case of Mudra loan, I can give example. Your Kishore is only the three different levels of loan, 50,000 up to 1 lakh and up to 10 lakh. So the question came that why it is up to 10 lakh, because 10 lakh is very small amount, or maybe 50,000 is a very, very small amount. But think of all these micro enterprises that contributes 87% of the 7.4 crore of SMEs, right? So that comes to close to 6.5 crore entities, and that actually employs close to 65 to 60 to 65% of total employment generated by the SMEs entities. Now, in this perspective, if you see, you will understand that why there is a lot of focus, especially on the smaller enterprises and a smaller amount. But definitely, I will guide you through that. There are a lot of incentives and initiatives for the small and medium sector as well. Like CGT MSC is there, Smile is there, a bunch of other program under NSCI and other entities are there, which is given by Ministry of MSME. So definitely, like in order to be recognized as MSME and at the same time to ensure that MSMEs are part of the formal system, MSME need to register as a MSME in a MSME portal. And it's the Udyam portal where very basic details are required. Your bank details, company address, GST, PAN card, Aadhaar card, so on and so forth. And a company can get registered in Udyam, can get the Udyam certificate. And normally it is available in a day or two. People will get the Udyam certificate in their mailbox. So it is very simple process, which definitely we always urge the entities that please get yourself registered in Udyam portal and get your MSME certificate, because unless you get the MSME certificate, bunch of benefits which are available to MSME, it will not be available to that entity. So it's like expecting winning a lottery ticket without buying a lottery ticket. So if any of the SMEs are there who are eligible for the benefit, or doesn't matter eligible or not, but they should get themselves registered in SME portal. In the due course, I will definitely tell you the benefit of registrations, and at the same time, there's a couple of more steps needs to be done if any SME entity want to supply to state and central government. The benefits, as you can see in your screen, they can avail a lesser tariff, tax, and cap. They can have a tariff, tax, and capital subsidies. SMEs can avail a lower interest business loan, can get exempted from direct tax law in some of the cases. They have a beneficial position to get the government tenders. And also there are certain reimbursements in terms of the expenditures, capital expenditure or registration and certification expenditures in terms of ISO certificate or any of the IP registrations. There is a JDD certificate which SMEs can get, and there are a lot of exemptions government will provide. Along with that, I just captured it briefly on the Startup India registration, wherein SME and startup go hand on hand, and many of the startups actually they are SMEs as well. In a way, I always classify startup as more of a sub starter of the larger SME umbrella. And there are a bunch of benefits which are available under Startup India registration program as well under DIPP. And again, registration under Startup India is also very simple. And we always urge our clients and friends to make sure that they get registration in Startup India as well. So just company need to provide their incorporation certificate, company website and brochure details and GST number. Few more details are required and they can register themselves. Bunch of benefits are available in Startup India in terms of their ease of operation. There is a certain tax benefit, 3 out of 10 years is tax exempted, self certifications in terms of labor law and bunch of other legal compliances. And again, Startup India platform gives access to a bunch of incubators, accelerators, and at the same time to mentors. So this largely we covered, wherein we say that how much contribution of MSMEs are towards the GDP and exports and jobs. But definitely you will see that most of the SMEs do face huge challenges. They are susceptible and vulnerable to multiple risks. For example, the recent risk is globalization. At one side, it brings a lot of boon to the company. But whatever happening with the US tariff, it is actually becoming a bane to some of the companies. When we see the companies like, say, electronics, gems and jewelries, and some of the auto industries, they are severely hit by US tariff. But at the same time, there is a silver lining that few of the countries, because few of the countries like Vietnam and other places, which are hardly hit by US tariff with larger tariff amount. So India is in a better position to India is in a better position to export to other. Facilities and initiatives by the government to move the take further for the SME industry. I'll just take a pause for a minute so I can answer any of the questions. In case if anyone has a particular expectations from this session, we can cover it up. So I'm pausing for a while to take some questions. Raviji, if you have any question, feel
Yeah,
free.
Mr. Rana, have you got any queries or questions? Can you please send it to me?
So I have got one question till yet, so I have already sent it to you.
You have sent it to me?
Yes, sir.
Just hold on. Policy.
Okay, fiscal benefit, bunch of things I will cover later part of my slides. So definitely it will be captured.
Right. And one question from my side. You had shown the first screen where the classification has been done according to the turnover for MSMEs.
Yeah.
So now what we had heard is in the last budget, this turnover size has been increased to almost double. I think now the MSME has been till turnover of 500 CR. I mean, the classification has been changed. Is it the case?
In the last budget, it changed. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
It is right.
yeah, it has been doubled. MSME's definition has
Has
now
doubled.
covered up to 500 turnover, 500 crores of turnover.
Yeah. So I think in October or November when the new that came at that time, it got increased.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, thanks. And you will cover the fiscal incentives in the later part, right?
Yeah. So there are fiscal incentives in terms of in terms of stamp duty concession, in terms of registration process concession, subsidized rate of loans. Those kind of fiscal incentives are there. But largely, except the SISFS scheme, I doubt any of the full, most of the fiscal benefits are coming in terms of reimbursement and exemptions. It's not in term and subsidies. It's not the case that direct benefit transfers are there in terms of in MSMEs. Only in SISFS schemes, there are grants given to the startups and SMEs. But apart from that, if the person who asked the question is looking for some grant or something, that kind of benefits.
Yes, I guess the intent is to know what are all the tax breaks or the incentives, maybe in the form of capital subsidy or
Yes,
maybe in the form of CGST or SGST reversal of. There are certain states like UP or which I know that they are giving the SGST back to you once you deposit it. So these are the kind of grants or the incentives which are given when you start your industry in that area. So
uh-huh.
in Karnataka specifically, we would want to know. I think that is the intent behind that question.
Correct. So yeah, I will cover it up. Like maybe I will not able to cover all the policies and
That is
schemes.
okay. That is completely okay. We can go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Sachinji. So when we look into the ministries of MSMEs, the key objective was to make sure that how to make the Karnataka policies comparable to India and make it more globally competitive to promote the growth and developments of the MSME, how to ensure that new enterprise can be created and create a more employment opportunities. Because if you see that in last 10 to 15 years, there are various pockets are created in Karnataka, like in Belagavi, Kalaburgi, in Mysore, Mandya, Bangalore. There are a bunch of TCSP centers and MSME development centers are created, right? Especially there are two from K Hub side, from K Hub, that is Karnataka Incubator, Karnataka's state government incubator plan. So there also, two centers are created, one in Bangalore and another in Belagavi, where a bunch of benefits are given to the startups as well as the SMEs. In order to enhance the manufacturing base through technology upgradations, bunch of initiatives are taken. And whenever any technology upgradations are there, it is covered under the CapEx plan. And for that, also bunch of loans can be can be taken by the SME sector. For the marketing support of SMEs under NSCI, bunch of benefits are given. There are a lot of development happened in Khadi and core industries in Mysore, Mandya, and some of the regions in Karnataka, which are pretty helpful. And many of these small scale sector MSME industries are taking their benefits. So this is more of, like I will say 10,000 feet level view of the MSME industry and how it is structured. So on the top, you have Honorable Ministry of the State, under which the secretary is there. And for each of the state, there are ASFA, there are joint secretaries and DDG. And each of, and then again, joint secretary, you will see that one on KVIC, PME, GP, Spurti, all under plans is covered under ARI. Then under SME, NSIC, NI, NSME, MSME, EDI, IC, some of the departments are under SME joint secretary level. So you will see that the benefit that definitely flow from both state government and central government, and it will concentrate on JS, SME and JSRI, AFI. Another thing, what I will do, Sachinji, along with my slides, I will share with you. I believe that you will share it with the participants. I will also share one compendium of ICAI, where a lot of very important information are there for Karnataka, important connects of the Karnataka government SME, all the SME departments, right? So I have not put it in our slide. Doesn't make any sense, but definitely I will share it at the link. I will share it, and in case we have the recipient list of the participants, we can send it to them, and it is pretty useful.
Yes, yes. In fact, I would suggest that, like you have shown this table also, there are certain, so our audience is, I think 90% of our audience would be CAs only, and they would be, they would be happy to know all the assistance which you can, make in this while, establishing an industry for their clients. So, like for example, one of their client wants to establish their entity in Karnataka. Then it would be of great help for them also if you make them if you understand that how you can help them establishing, and you can help in fundraising of that particular MSME. So that would be great if that is and obviously in later part of this, after this session we can connect. If anybody wants to specifically speak to you on this, they can also go ahead on this. But we will try, or you should try, that you can tell how benefit you can add to their clients life while establishing any industry in that area.
Definitely, Sachinji. Actually, when we created around 3 years back, we created this compendium, and I also contributed a bunch of things here. And here, this details definitely I will share with you, Sachinji. You can share you and Raviji. You can share it with the participants. And best thing about it is that all the important connects are here, right? And wherever we believe we can connect directly, anyone can reach out to say me or other practitioner in Karnataka, and they can reach out through them as well. So important part is that whenever anyone is doing the work, there are three questions: what, where, how. What, definitely when we talk to the client, we know that what is required. Now question is where you will get the connect, where things can be catapulted, and that's where I'm pointing the finger that people can go to this compendium and can have all the data points, right? So here a bunch of other details are also there, which I will definitely share with you and Raviji, that can be shared. Coming back to my presentation. So on the institutional framework side, you will see that it is largely, again, it is not a formal classification. I just siloed it for better representation and understanding. On the nodal agency side in Karnataka, and largely it is same with the rest of the country, we have MSME nodal agencies for KVIC, Core Board for National Small Industry Corporation, for National Institute of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and MGIRI. For Startup India, it is covered under DPIIT, and there is a separate line of services and benefits and incentives available. On the Directorate of MSME, it given a certain mandate to some of the venture funds, and there are special schemes and initiatives from government of Karnataka. And this is many of the universities are also part of it, like in case of SISFS, where central fund is routed through those universities which have their incubation, and through which SISFS fund is given to the startups and SMEs. Then definitely SME Ministry collaborated with the financial institutions, with commercial bank with NABARD and SIDBI to fund any of the CGT, MSc and Mudra loans. Here, one of the questions, since it's a great thing, Sachinji, you've given me the larger idea that 90% of the participants are CA. So here, many of the CAs come to me and asking, and the question on the discussion, the question comes that, okay, should we concentrate on Mudra loan or CGT, MSc or higher value loan? Because see, at times the question comes even from the client side that, okay, this particular scheme is available. Can we start the business provided that scheme is available? But that is the wrong way of thinking. The way it should be that suppose I have a running business, I need certain financial assistance. Now, if my business is eligible for certain existing loan or schemes or initiatives by the government, then I'm the right target segment. But reverse is not true. For the scheme, people cannot make a business. But if there is a business, then to support the business, schemes are there. So it's very important to classify these two parts. Second part is that for especially for the CA practitioner or people who want to provide who want to cater to the financial resistance requirement of the SME sector, like the market segment for the clients who need 50,000 or 5 lakh or 10 lakh rupee loan is very different from companies who need 5 CR, 10 CR or 20 CR of loan. Now it depends upon your practice, it depends upon your reach, your network, that you want to go on quantity or you want to go on quantum. When I'm saying quantity, it's all good if you want to capture all the mom and pop store and where you want to provide them with a financial requirement of 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh loan. And those are the typical mom and pop stores whose monthly sale is say anywhere between whose daily sale is anywhere between say 20-30,000 rupee, right? So those are the people normally for their working capital need, they need mudra loan up to 10 lakh rupee and go happy with their requirement. But largely, when you are targeting bit to larger setup, your target segment is different. But one thing is sure, you cannot cater both, right? So identify your target segment. There is large enough market, and Sachin one of the calculation, last year I was presenting to FKCCI and ICAI and FKCCI arranged one of the event, and there, interesting statistics came up in the discussion is that we have close to 3 lakh CAs in India. After the recent result, it is around 3.
More than 3 lakhs, at close to 4 lakhs.
3, it's close to 4 lakh. Okay.
Yes, yes.
My number is around 3.25. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like plus minus 10 per 20, 10, 15%. Out of that, the practicing CA is only 1.6 lakh. Now,
Right.
maybe 5% up and down.
Right.
Just what point I'm bringing here, that there are 7.4 CR entities, and we are 1.6 lakh professionals who are serving 7.5 lakh entities. So it's an open ground for us. So it depends at which market you are choosing. Though I deviated from the topic of discussion, just thought of sharing my views on it.
But I guess if you have any knowledge about funding to MSMEs, be it Mudra loan or be it CGTMSE or be it maybe project financing, then your thoughts would be most welcome.
Sure, sir. I will definitely share my practical experience. I've given the sessions in Guwahati, Kochi, Hyderabad, Delhi. So there are different segments of discussions came up. And when I'm serving my clients in Karnataka, Bangalore, and Hyderabad, some of the clients are there from Chennai and Mumbai as well. So largely, 80, it's the Pareto analysis hold true. 80% of the questions we can fall it in 20% of the bucket. One common question which comes all across, people say that branch manager don't entertain my file. Whenever I go to the branch manager, they say that ki boss nahi ho payega, nahi chalega. So here I always say that whether you know your client well, KYC, know your client. So if we bring a right proposition to the branch manager and show the right business planning for them, make the proposition compelling that why they should finance. And one thing where when I was discussing more with the people who are serving the loan and their loan application get rejected, people are not the participants somehow not very clear about the future disposal of income and future cash flow, because banks will never fund the money if they are not clear that how the money will be returned back, whether the cash flow is supporting and cash flow is backed by some PO or some documents, some hard documents. And it is collateral, it's a collateral free, it is unsecured. So definitely banks are cautious. One very important statistics I want to mention it here, Sachin sir, is that recently government given a very good data of mudra loan given in last 10 years. That is around 32 lakh crore, close to $400 billion. Trust me, it is the GDP of some of the countries. And that's the amount of loan given. And I was surprised to know when we are digging deeper into the data, close to 67% of loan was given to the women entrepreneurs. Another important statistics that is hard hitting in a way, it is only 3.5% is the delinquency rate, and it is best in the industry. So gone are the days when banks are not entertaining. If banks are not entertaining, how this large number can get created? So again, make your proposal good, and largely the chances are that it will be taken through and go to the right platform in the bank. So there are certain nodal agencies like in for SBI. I know that there are certain branches which are specifically catering to MSMEs and startups, right? So just see that in your city of operation, which are those branches. So I'm sure that the success rate will be higher in those branches because they entertain such kind of cases.
Right, right.
So these are a bunch of various schemes which I just mentioned populated here. Definitely, no, I will share this. I will share the slides, and each one of you can have a look into it. I will just cover some of the good schemes that like that are providing a good incentives and benefits to the SMEs. Many of them are applicable to other states, and largely it is same, but some are Karnataka specific, and I will definitely mention which are Karnataka specific here. So NSIC,
Deepak ji, I am interrupting you. They have again, I think 4 5 questions have come up. So, would it be fine if I can run through those questions
yes,
and
please,
you
please.
can, we can have the answers from you?
Sure, Sachinji. Sure, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
So the first one here is, what are the priority sectors? Yeah, the first one is, what are the priority sectors identified under the MSME policy?
Okay, priority sector
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Your voice is bit breaking. Can you come back again?
What are the priority sectors identified under the MSME policy?
Okay. Um,
Should I type it on the, can you see that tab, the
yeah,
message tab?
yes, I can see that.
Just hold on, I am typing it also for you.
Okay, what are the priority sectors identified under the MSME policy? Okay, here, actually, the couple of priority sectors which are identified, especially in Karnataka state policy, it was one is in relation to your auto sector and biochemicals, and another is in handicraft and manufacturing sector. Those are the cases identified. For each of the state, there are different priority sectors which are identified. And if you see that MSME itself is one of the priority sector, and if the question is covering what are the priority sector in MSME, so those are three large priority sectors which was earlier identified. The new, when if I compare it with the policy which is defined in 2020 to 25, there are four priority sectors which are coming. One is biochemical, second is on the agricultural side, third is handicraft, and fourth is on the service sector. So again, this new policy is about to come. That will cover FY25 to FY29. Let's see what will come in the new sector. What's the next question, Sachinji?
Yeah. So the next question is, why GST made mandatory for MSME registration? If a business turnover is less than 20 lakh rupees for service and 40 lakh rupees for goods, smaller dealer and startup entity are forced to register and comply to provision. I'm also writing it in the chat box so that you can also read this. But is it GST registration mandatory for MSME? I doubt. I
If
think
it is
there are.
if it is a private limited company, then it is mandatory. Even if for a private limited company, it is not mandatory.
No, it's not. I think it
Not
depends on the
mandatory.
turnover only. Minimum turnover side should be 20 lakh rupees, which is mentioned.
I have a couple of companies where I have not taken GST registration.
Yeah.
So it is not mandatory. And
Because GST is driven by central government, I guess. So I think this GST registration is governed by the central government, right? If I'm
it
not
is,
wrong.
yes, sir. It is, yeah, it is driven by central government and it is not mandatory. But yes, if a company, if there are certain compelling evidence to prove that a company has a turnover or entity has a turnover of more than 20 lakh or 40 lakh, then a notice can be served. As we all know, like one of the news came 2 months back that one of the Pani Puri person got a GST notice because his collection is more than 40 lakh in a year.
So obviously, then it comes out of this purview. I mean, within the purview of GST, obviously the notice can be served.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Then the third question is, what are the eligibility criteria for availing subsidies under the MSME policy?
Okay, it depends. It depends upon which kind of entity it is, and like it's very situation specific questions, right? For example, first of all, if it is CGT MSE, right? Then you can person then company can avail up to 5 CR of loan facility. There are plan of increasing it to 10 CR. I'm not sure it had happened or not, but as of now, I believe it is up to 5 CR. And um, first of all, a company needs to be SME entity registered under it. And I doubt there is any turnover criteria. There is any other criteria, but there are other incentives for say silk for the silk manufacturers or for handicrafts. So there are
They are industry specific incentives,
yeah, there
right?
are industry specific, so it's too open-ended. So what I suggest the person who requested this question, I will provide my email ID at the end of this session. So feel free to reach out to me in case if you have a particular question or you want to understand for a particular industry, particular company, what kind of incentives are available. So then I will be in better position to answer it in more targeted way.
Right.
All right. What next?
Uh, Next question is, does the policy provide support for technology upgradation or digital transformation?
Well, whenever it comes to technology upgradation or digital transformation, okay, it's an interesting case. What happens that till now many of the digital transformation cost at times it is incurred through salaries when people are hiring the tech talent and do certain digital transformation. For those things, I doubt bunch of benefits will be available, but again, it can be covered under CGTMSC or some of the other programs, right? But when you are talking about the technology upgradation through, say, installation of servers or switches, those things definitely there are like from SIDBI and other financial institutions, bunch of benefits are available. But here, whenever we are talking about technology upgradation and digital transformation, the company need to be very clear that how the revenue will be generated through this digital transformation. Just for the cost saving purpose, I doubt it will be very compelling proposition. But if the top line is increasing, that is more compelling provision from the lender side.
I think this question would be of much relevance when we will talk about the auto manufacturing companies where, the company is getting into the EV vehicles technology instead of the earlier one, or maybe the chip making industry where digital transformation will help making us the cost, I mean, the high-end chips with least cost. I think probably that may be the question would be relevant to that industries if I'm not wrong.
Actually, Sachin sir, if we say chip manufacturing industry, the initial investment required is huge. So definitely, like SMEs, if I like understanding the client better, um, these are for chip and EVs. EVs definitely EV. I think it is possible because there are a lot of new technology came on the EV battery side, and there are many of the operators who are providing the support system to the EV industry. For example, manufacturing of the adapters, manufacturing of some battery component, right? So
Right.
that is understandable. But chip and other things, it's too costly industry which can be served in a $1 or $2 million.
Mm,
So again, it depends, it's context based. So I think
right.
better that participant clarify this question in more details, that will be super helpful.
Right. The next question is, how should a CA verify eligibility for state incentives while auditing an MSME registered under this policy?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please, Sachin sir?
The question is, how should a CA verify eligibility for state incentives while auditing an MSME registered under the policy?
So are we auditing the government that whether
Yeah, in fact, this question is also not clear to me. I think this probably they may want to ask that how should I mean, probably this person, the one who is asking this question is an auditor of a government organization or a bank also.
yes,
Probably from that perspective, he is asking.
I can answer it in both the ways. If a person is auditing the government, does the government always provide the eligibility criteria? If a person need to identify and verify that the how, again, I will go in the audit step in a way that they need to ask for more details for the samples, take the samples, check more details from the company side. That's the only way. I doubt that through the publicly available information, everything will be clear. So it's more of sampling part. And in case, I believe the question, Sachin ji, it is in relation to a CA who is auditing how they can see the eligibility of that company for the available incentive plan, MSM available incentive plan applicable to that company.
Right, right. So probably while auditing, they may face such situations. So they are asking how they
Yeah.
should do it.
So here, okay, this. Okay, what's happening here is that team, what's happening here, friends? For each of the state, there is a separate MSME portal. What I request is that if you go to, let me show you the path here. First, in order to make sure that you understand what are the schemes available, I request you to go to msme.gov.in. If you go to this website, you will see that there is something known as something, you will see a bucket of newsletter. So almost once in a quarter, once in a month, you will see all these newsletters issued by the MSME ministry, where you will find bunch of new things that's happened. Second is that, say, Karnataka. For Karnataka MSME, there is a different portal. So you can go here and see that what are the schemes and like any of the schemes which are applicable for a particular state. There you will see that what are the current schemes running for any of the state, and then you can, on the basis of industry, also you can classify. And definitely, like it's a good question coming up, Sachin ji. I will definitely, discuss with um we will see that if we can, like for Karnataka, we have a compendium for MSME policy. Like in this way, if we can create a compendium for all other states, right, all other major states, if I think if we cover, 8 to 10 states, that covers 70 to 80% of the larger MSME population. All right.
Right. Okay.
So
Now, these are all the questions. Now you can continue with the content which you are speaking to.
sure. So NSIC scheme is National Small Industry Corporation Schemes, and here I sincerely request to our CA friends to look into NSIC schemes, look into NSIC centers in your state, NSIC technical centers, and you will see bunch of benefits government of India is providing, be it from the raw material distribution side, support in terms of any symposium, any marketing or distribution related matters, be it your technology upgradation. There are a bunch of free of cost or at a very nominal cost. Some of the technologies are available, which many of the SMEs can avail of. Like there are MSME technology centers. There are close to 18 centers across India. In Karnataka, in Bangalore, we have a MSME technology center. There is a MSME Development Institute in the Cord Road. There is a development institute. There are testing centers where some of the testings for the high end, like precision industries, components can be checked. So benefits are available. Government came up with the different centers and institutes. It all depends upon the SMEs. They need to come to know about it and they need to avail those services. For the skilled manpower in the areas for tools, engineering, and manufacturing sectors, it is available. There is a MSME Sampark. There is a different portal created by SME platform by MSME Ministry, where if anyone is there, anyone who is looking for the job, they can post their CV, and just like Naukri, companies go and select the CVs in the same way. SMEs can go there and select their candidates if anyone they want to hire. For the import substitutions, if anything is imported and now they want to see that SME want to substitute it with the local material, there also guidance are available in technology centers. I worked with some of the industries who are in Penia and other areas in Bangalore, and they are utilizing these centers quite efficiently and effectively. Even like one thing I proud to say about this, friends, that when you must have heard about Chandrayaan, and out of Chandrayaan, there are thousands of components gone inside, and there are bunch of components that was tested and delivered by technology centers in Bhubaneswar and Mumbai. So when government of India is using SME centers, so why not our clients can use it? And if you have SME, feel free to find out the centers nearest to your client's place, near to your state. In Bangalore, if you're in Karnataka, it's there in Bangalore. Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. In this one, it's a subsidized program where, close to up to 50 lakh projects for the manufacturing sector and up to 20 lakh of project under service sector is financed by the government. And it is for the new developments, for the new entity. And again, there are a bunch of criterias depending upon a person is meeting the criterias. 90% can be financed or 95% can be financed depending upon the person is in general category or SC or ST category.
So along with the funding, I think the subsidy is also given by the government in these
Yes,
funding, right?
that's
Prime
right.
Minister Fund.
PMEGP, that's right. It's a subsidy program, right?
Okay.
Now, credit linked capital subsidy and technology program. Here you will see that there are a bunch of certifications which companies need to go through, be it ISO certification or JDD certifications. Those certification cost is reimbursed by the government. Like it's a certification level 1, 2, and 3. These are the cost of certifications, and the subsidized cost is given. The SMEs need to pay a subsidized cost for getting these certifications. If any of the MSMEs are exporting their product to European Union or US or other part of geography, some of the companies, some of the countries specifically ask for certain certifications. And especially when ESG norms are kicking into and coming into picture, and some of the industries are following level 3, L3 level of ESG certification. In these cases, even the vendors need to even the vendors need to be certified under certain norms to show that they don't have any larger effect on the climate and environment. The same thing is continuing where we discussed more about for SC, ST, and women, what are the subsidies, and for handholding supports, for consultancy, what would be the subsidy which a company can get. Again, on the SMEs innovation, IPR and design part, you will see that there are a lot of financial assistance given for the foreign patent, domestic patent. On your right hand side, you will see that even the patent costs are covered by the government of India, depending upon what kind of new patents you are covering. If you see that GI geographical indication, in recent past, Karnataka government has given GI to close to around 31 or 35 places, right? And that's a strong indication and push and boost given to the industry, to SMEs industries who are operating in those areas. And for plant and machinery incubation, plant and machinery incubation, there is a financial assistance of up to 1 CR. There are bunch of other common available financial incentives, loans and other things, which I covered in next 3-4 slides. I want to cover this particular part specifically, wherein for ease of doing business, what are the different portals and mechanism available with the government of India, and which is given by MSME entities to small and medium sector enterprises. So if you see that bunch of buttons, you will see that it covers your MSME data bank, Udyam registration, Sampark, Sambandh, Champions portal, PMEGP portal, GEM portal, Trades platform, etc. So each of them are covering some specific needs, which was long-standing need for the company by the companies and addressed by the government over a period of time. So one thing which we have seen, that many of the companies, after registering into Udyam portals, they believe that they are covered and they don't need to do anything else. Nothing wrong in it. But if some of the companies want to supply to the government, in that case, they need to register in MSME data bank as well. And it is another step, because it's like, it's like a data bank which is used by the government to select any of the vendor, right? So if you are a company, if you are a SME, or your client is a SME who want to provide or supply any goods or services to the government through PMEGP portal or something, your GEM portal, please make sure that your client is registered in MSME data bank, then only they will be considered. GEM portal and PMEGP portal, it is just like, like it's Amazon for all the government sector, government sectors, be it state or central government. And under government procurement policy, around close to 25%, if I'm not if I'm not wrong, close to 25% of the procurement needs to come through all the SME sector. And in the few after a few slides, I will show you the numbers. That is mind-boggling. That is really huge. Now, many of the SME portals definitely face a problem in getting their bill discounted, and at the same time, they also face a problem in how to get a supply chain finance. This particular problem is solved by Trades platform, wherein any of the SMEs can be registered as a SME, where they can and many of the large corporates are already registered in Trades platform. On the third side, there are a lot of banks which gives the financial assistance. Now, say if me as a SME entity want to sell the product to, say for example, Unilever. In that case, if Unilever is registered in Trades platform, I will also get myself registered. And on the basis of when I'm selling it to Unilever, on the basis of Unilever's credit rating, the interest rate will be charged to me, and I can get my bill discounted. Same is the case with the supply chain finance. So both can be done in Trades platform. Only thing is that you need to have a look into and see that if it is applicable to you. Another thing is MSME Samadhan. In sorry. In MSME Samadhan, I will take you through in the subsequent slides. If any of the SMEs have a problem in getting their collections from their customers, they can raise their complaint in Samadhan, and through a time-bound manner, there are arbitration which will happen at no additional cost. MSME Samadhan, that arbitration will try to recover your money, and there are stringent provisions that, like even towards the end, the GST can be blocked for the supplier who is not paying you money. So even Sachinji, even we used for a couple of our clients who are not paying us. So It is.
In fact, I was thinking about one of my client also, who is also not paying it. So I am thinking that I should go into this Samadhan portal.
Yeah, it is. I will say it is not the best. There are a lot of, I will say, a lot of things can be done, but still, it's a good start. At least
So
there is
can
some
we,
solace.
Deepakji, can we have a detailed, details of all these promoting apps which you have shown over here? Can we have that, after this session, if you can float to Rana or to me, so that we can give to the audiences,
Sure, definitely, definitely.
right?
So now, here, if you okay, let me just take through some of the important things which I covered here. MSME Data Bank, as I said, that we company need to register here in order to make sure they participate in government procurement process. Now, it is very easy process. In 5 minutes of time, if a company has a SME, has a MSME Udyam registration, they can put their company's name in an MSME database. This is the screenshot of MSME Data Bank where company need to create their register and then link their MSME company name and their details to MSME update in the MSME Data Bank. Sambandh, it's for procurement policy integration. As I said, that 25% of the procurement should be done through SME sector. There is a sublimit for SC, ST, and women entrepreneur. There are close to 323 CPSC registered in this platform. CPSC is Central Procurement Service Agencies. And the purchase target for, I think it is for the 23-24, it's 17 billion. And this year, 24-25, it is close to around $21 billion. And this is a number I was talking about, friends, wherein you can see that close to 190 crore, 190 crore of purchase is done through this Sambandh portal. And this business is done by MSME entities for the government. And this number is large. And here, if any companies want to do this part, definitely they need to register in MSME portal, MSME data bank. Samadhan, it's a one-stop grievance redressal, and here you will see that there are close to, in this is for 24-25 year, close to 231 lakh applications was filed, and 22,000, close to 22,000 are mutually settled, 57,000 applications are yet to be reviewed, 63,000 are rejected, 46,000 are disposed, and 41,000 are currently under consideration. So you will see that though the success rate is close to 10%, but trust me, before that, the success rate was zero. At least we come 0 to 1 here, right? So I have seen that, there are, it's not a easy, for earlier, if I say that the only solace available to the companies was going to the court or dispute it in the court, and that's again requires a lot of money for the lawyers and other things. In this case, a company don't need to hire a lawyer. Even their finance people can go and represent the case. So normally I have seen that, like two cases which we are part of, I've seen that it took around close to 5 to 6 months in getting the resolution. But yes, a resolution did arrived. It's a good option. Only thing is that we need to apply it. Now here actually we have close to 50 minutes left for this session. I will take half an hour to cover some of the emerging trends in the MSME funding, and then I will keep the forum open for last 10-15 minutes to have a candid discussion at the same time to answer any of the questions you have. Now, especially we see that it's not the case that the things gone downhill for SMEs from 2020-21 when the COVID hit. It's since beginning, I will say that is a time immemorial that all the SMEs are struggling for the funds. Means gone are the days when SMEs are not getting any fund. Now the situation changed a lot. But still, if you see that if you ask 100 entities who need funding, 150 out of 100 entities need funding. And There is a reason, all the good reason why SMEs need funding, but at the same time, we have seen that there are a lot of internal inefficiencies as well in the MSME sector, which force them to go for like unplanned way of fundraise. Good part is that gone are the days when SMEs need to go to the private money lenders who charge interest anywhere between 30% to 40%. Now they can apply for Mudra loan, CGTMSC, SMSC, Smile, bunch of other platforms are there for promulgated by MSME committee and MSME department. So they can have a loan at a discounted, not I will not the discounted rate, but much better rate than 20-30%. Now loans are available at anywhere between 11% to 13%, 14% interest rate. It is available. So question is why, like some of the part I covered here, that why SMEs and startups faces the fund challenges. First is information asymmetry. Information asymmetry, it is not only for the SMEs and among the SMEs, even within the company, there is information asymmetry. Many of the decisions taken by the MSME founders are largely based on the gut feeling, not on the basis of the data which is shown by their finance team. And how many times the finance are correct, that's also a question mark. Because I believe that most of the time they reach to the CA or their auditors once in a year. So as a CA community, we need to ask that, okay, how many times we are showing the need to our SME clients that they need to get their finance reviewed more than once, not only during the audit time. Lack of finance know-how products and player. That's well known. Most of the time, the finance person is a BCom grad who don't know completely that how the finance needs to be presented, what are the key KPIs. That's where that's where CS can play a major role. I think the last Sachinji, in the last Pathshala, I think we covered the CA role in MSMEs. So I've taken this particular part in multiple forums, and this question was coming again and again, that apart from audit, apart from compliances, apart from GST, what we can do for the client. I think FP&A function is such a right function which can be offered in much better way, and SMEs will be thankful for the whole life if we show them the true mirror that what their finances are in real. It's not about getting into the revenue by the tax that a company want to pay. It's about the right way creating the financials and showing them the right picture in terms of their efficiency.
In fact, I would say that CA, the auditor of a particular company, entity, or MSME, is the right person where the client or the promoters can take a call and they can rely on them, because they do have a huge belief or comfort on the CAs. So CAs should not take it as a, I would say, the opportunity to earn, but at the same time the establishing more good relations with the client. Obviously the money will come automatically, and they will also grow. Both of them, both client as well as auditor, will grow if they will also come into this funding category.
Yeah. You're actually, like as a professional, if we think as a businessman as well, that invest in two clients, show them success, and there will be beeline of 20 more companies who want to get this similar solution. So on the lack of technological advancement in ease of doing business, this is very interesting. And the way I have seen some of the CAs, they really made a good practice is by automating a very simple flow of operation for their clients, be it Excel macro or be it using Google spreadsheet. Existing high cost debt from unregulated market. I covered it before that, still many of the SMEs unfortunately get caught in the wrong side by the private money lenders. Just see that what's their interest cost and why, like, interestingly, Sachinji, I want to share one of my experience here. One of my client based out of Bangalore, they had close to 20 CR of loan from one of the nationalized bank. And what they have done is that against that they put in 100. They earlier they had around, they need 5 CR of loan though. So bank says that okay, you create a 5.5 CR of FD and we will give you 90 or 95% of loan. First time owner approved it and that become a practice. Now company had 20 CR of loan against 22 CR of FD. Worst part is that company is paying 1% over and above the FD rate to the
FD.
bank.
Right.
Now, in the finance guy's head, he's saying that I have 20 crore of loan at 1%. But he is not understanding he's paying for his own money,
Right.
right? Now, any of the banker, any of the nationalized bank as well can give a loan at a 40% of collateral, 40% of hard deposit. So ideally, they should have given 8 CR of loan against 20 CR and then can put their debts or inventory in the perspective and can have 15 CR or 20 CR of loan. Very simple restructuring, just going one level deeper into the financial number and we get into this detail. Point is that it is saving the money for the company. It is releasing the working capital need. It is by they are having a much lesser cost. And definitely when we are bringing such kind of important insight, companies, no doubt they will come back to us only whenever they have any problem. And they don't mind if we are increasing our fees by 2x or certain amount. I don't know
Right.
what's.
Right, absolutely. I think by instead of going directly to a banker, even I have seen, we have also the same kind of work area which you are in, and we have seen bankers don't know much about their schemes. Rather, the financial consultants knows better.
Yeah,
So that's the reason going directly by one client to in a branch, they won't be able to help him. Rather, a professional CA or a professional funding expert would be the one who will have who will have full command on his work.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely so. So here I'm just deliberating. It is bit digression from our topic, but one of the question that we got that how we know that which of the incentives or schemes are available for the company. So now before going into it, I suggest my CA friends and SME people who are working in SMEs or founders of SME who are participating in this meeting know your first know your topic, know your clients, know your customers, or know your company. That is extremely important. Unless it is done, I doubt you will able to be successful in matchmaking to the right schemes. In
correct.
I just covered the inadequate
Uh,
collateral part.
yeah.
Yes,
So you please cover this limited equity capital also, and then I will go to the question and answers which have
sure.
come up.
Limited equity capital largely here. That there is a thought at times that we will not equity is costly. We will not raise equity. But there is a higher cost if people will not raise the equity on time and they will discount on their future growth. So here, my this question is more for medium sector enterprises where people don't know what is IPO, what is SME IPO. But now, like in last 3-4 years, there's a spurt of IPOs now. Like there are what close to 450, around 400, 430, 440 companies who already registered in NSE platforms. Similar numbers are there in BSE platforms. I would not say all the companies are great in terms of their operations and business, whatever things we read in the newspaper. If we remove all those noise, there is an active capital market for medium sector enterprises. And if you have a client and there are opportunities for SME IPO, please understand, read what SME IPO is and discuss with your founder, your SME founder. I'm sure you will do a great service to the profession and to that company because industry is ripe, time is ripe, and in case there should not be much apprehensions of going public because the requirement is very less even the post listing of the company. Yes, sir, we can go for the questions.
The first question is a person financial healthy earlier and he does take loan or credit card past. His CIBIL will be low at the time of applying MSME loan. loan will be rejected, or there would be high rate of interest. How to handle such kind of situations?
Well, whenever I will discuss with the banker, again, it's very individual situation, but I'm giving bit high level answer here. Two things needs to be shown to the banker. First is that the CIBIL was low because of certain default in payment. The first thing is that whether that payment is regularized or not. Because even if even if the person regularized the loan, the CIBIL score will improve over a period of time. There are multiple factors for CIBIL. Even if you applied in 10 places and you have not, even you got the loan, but you have not taken it, then also your CIBIL score may decrease. Because more you apply, that also is one of the parameter. Because you are highly leveraged. In terms of in CIBIL calculation, you are highly leveraged. Second thing, you need to show that the purpose for which you are taking loan and how it will generate your future cash flow that you can comfortably pay your loans. Third is the quality of your collateral if it is a secured loan. If these three things a person can prove, I doubt bank will have any problem in loan dispersal. Now, as far as interest rate is concerned, it is completely in line with the risk perseverance of the lender, which I doubt anyone has much control. It's more of a negotiation. But in my view, for business purpose, if some loan is available, even if a couple of basis point, couple of percentages higher, it's better to take the loan, show the result to the banker, and renegotiate the terms and reduce the cost, or transfer the loan to some other bank. I think that's the strategy I will follow.
And in fact, related to this only, like this person has written that he does take loan or credit cards also in the past. So there are chances in most of the cases, there are certain credit cards which are issued by the banks and which are not known to the clients. So in that case, there are charges which are written off and that are reflected in the CIBIL. So you can anyway write to the particular bank and the CIBIL also, basis which this CIBIL score will improve. So in 90% of the cases, the credit cards written off are because of the charges which are not known to the client.
Yeah. And
Right,
it shows, see, the lenders are here to assist in finance in the expectation of they get to back the capital amount from the company. But in all the cases, let's understood that the risk perception is definitely high for this case, because a person is taking the loan against on the credit card. It's a last resort which companies goes through. All right, we can go to the next question, Sachinji.
yeah. So my next question, Deepak ji, is why medium sector has not to be considered for MSME benefit? Micro and small pending payments gets disallowed in income tax to report it to ROC, etc. Uh, I am not getting this properly, this
I
question.
this
I
is I never heard about this kind of situation. I don't know what rejection a person is talking about. When it comes to income tax or GST or whatever, if the details are provided properly, irrespective of its medium, small, micro, or large, very large, it will be accepted by the department. But I
right,
doubt any segregation or stepmotherly treatment is given to micro and small enterprises. I think it's about attention to detail that a particular entity give in their filing.
right. The next question is due to compliance, that is ROC, MSME half yearly filing payment within specific time limit to disallowance in income tax, etc. Some of big customers stopped doing business with me with MSME. How to handle such cases? I think probably this question is in continuation of the existing one.
See, this is unfair trade practices, but actually it's a business practices. I doubt government or court will have any say on such kind of things. So If the product of a SME is good, the companies will take the product. But it's the business practices. What government did is that, and it's a very welcome move last year when they said that if any of the payment to SMEs is not paid beyond 45 days, it will not be allowed under income tax reduction.
Right.
So it's a welcome move, but again, it is if any large company is rigging the system, I doubt we
So
can.
as far as the compliances are concerned, be it ROC or be it income tax, I think that will have to be done. If somebody is not doing it and then still expecting that some big companies should not stop doing business with them, then I guess they should correct their thinking. Compliance is something which we need to abide by.
Actually, their CA will not allow, no, their auditor will not allow those expenses. The tax
Right.
office will disallow it.
Okay. Uh, I'm going on the next question.
Yeah, just
Banks are not.
actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Deepak ji.
one thing which some of the large corporates, I don't want to name them, but some of the large corporates, what they are doing in order to do away with this, no, they are bill discounting the amount because what happens that some of the large company have a policy of paying in 60 days and 90 days, right? So I've seen those companies, what they are doing is that they are bill discounting their SME vendors. So it may cost around 1.5-2%, but they are getting the money upfront,
Oh,
right? So that kind of thing is also prevalent in the market. So you can see, like if you can absorb the cost and build discount or something, you can do, right?
correct. The other question is banks are not approving the loan for startup entity and less turnover entity and service sector due to less turnover or in less assets. How to handle such situations?
Well, in these cases, what we have done is that if you have a confirmed purchase order from a confirmed purchase order for sufficiently more than a 1 year or 2 year, and the project is running for 1 or 2 months, 3 months, on that you can show and can get some amount, some loan can be given against the collection. Maybe the bank may ask for the escrow account or amount needs to be covered through that. So apart from that, when we are saying low turnover, I'm not sure what does it mean. There needs to be any of the banker when we are going, unless it is a company is applying for SISFS loan. In SISFS, there is a requirement of 2 years of vintage. Beyond 2 years, SISFS cannot be given. Now, for any other loan, there should be a vintage of 2 to 3 years for the company. Now, even if the turnover is low, but there are a future expected cash flow on the basis of confirmed purchase order or something hard bank will definitely want in order to ensure that there is a reasonable cash flow coming in future to serve the loan and the interest part. If that can be substantiated to the bank will not disallow outrightly. There can be more discussions that may happen.
Yes. The last question here is, how does the policy promote women, SC, ST, or differently abled entrepreneurs?
Oh, there are a bunch of benefits, especially for women entrepreneur in Karnataka. SIDBI is giving close to, I think, 2 CR, close to 2 CR for different businesses, be it existing or old, and even the working capital is covered there. K Hub is giving lot of initiatives like they have a discounted price on their sitting area in K Hub, mentorship, marketing promotions, many things are given. So even earlier when I was showing the PMEGP and other things, you will see that for SCST and women entrepreneur, many benefits are available.
Right. That was all about the questions. Now you can continue with your slide. I will take a break of 2 to 3 minutes, Deepak ji.
Sure, sure, sir, sure. So now on the funding solution side, you see, when we discuss about any of the MSME schemes, largely, like it is more towards, the debt scheme and equity scheme, which MSME sector is getting. Again, equity is largely on um, SFISS, seed fund scheme of the government. But largely, you will get it through the subsidies or through a loan. So one is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, where you can see that there are three schemes wherein people can get up to 50,000. In Kishore, they can get up to 5 lakh. And Tarun Mudra loan, where companies can get up to 10 lakh of loan. The eligibility is startup with minimum 6 months of cash flow. That please note it down that it's up to 6 months. Up to 6 months should be there. I think in the earlier, just a couple of minutes back, someone asked question that what if a turnover is low, so up to 10 lakh, they can get it through Mudra loan. Your annual guarantee fee is 2% and ROI is linked to IBLR plus margin. So we have seen that Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, it at a cost of normally it costs anywhere between 12.5 to 13% for the companies. And again, it is better than not getting a loan and struggling, or taking a loan for say 20%, 30%. So it's better than that. So in the previous year, 24-25, 4.8 crore Mudra loan processed. And amount sanction is close to 5 lakh crore. And amount disbursed is close to 4.9 lakh crore. In last 10 years, Indian government released close to $400 billion of Mudra loan. And that itself is a benchmark. It is a landmark for any of the government schemes which achieve these kind of numbers. And in order to take the Mudra loan, you can go to any of the nationalized bank. Most of the nationalized bank and commercial bank are providing PMMY Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. CGT MSE scheme. CGT MSc scheme largely it is for motivating the first generation entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that it is given only to the new entrepreneurs or new companies. Even existing companies can use it, and it is the primary reason to start this scheme is to make sure that the central government guarantees certain portion of the loan and give it for the generation of self-employment, and definitely making sure that India will be self-sufficient in manufacturing and other areas. The key benefits are microfinance institutions are the member lending institutions, and they are also eligible now. Earlier, it's only commercial bank. Now, microfinance institutions are also there. Someone asked about the benefit to SC, ST, and women candidate. You will see that the guarantee fee is fee by 10. So the guarantee fee is reduced by 10% for women entrepreneurs, and the coverage is increased by 85%. For normal, it is 75%, and 75% of the project. For women entrepreneur, it is 85% of the project. And there are some concessions given to SC/ST candidate. The key features are it is manufacturing, it is available to manufacturing, service and retail. Yes, it is available to service sector as well. Many of the times we get a question that whether CGT MSc is applicable, is available to service sector or not. Yes, it is available. But it definitely, as of now, it is not available to education and training institutions. And the credit facility is up to 5 CR, and guarantee coverage is 75% to 85%, 85% in case of woman entrepreneur, 75% in case of male entrepreneur. And there's an annual guarantee fee of up to 1 CR, where fee revised from 2% and reduced as low as 0.37%, depending upon which category the person is there. It's an interesting number where you will see that the guarantee approved is close to 1.3 lakh crore in the previous year, and number of guarantees approved is close to 13 lakhs. So you can see that the huge transactions are going on in CGT MSE. SIDBI Make in India Loan for Enterprises, also famously known as SMILE. This scheme is again initiated by Government of India, and SIDBI is playing a major role, and it is more towards a push towards Make in India campaign. The primary focus is to provide financing to small enterprises within the SME sectors. And here, if you see the key benefit, their interest rate is bit attractive in comparison to CGT MSc and other places. And here it is like the processing normally takes around 2 to 3 months. People can get the loan, and here up to from 10 lakh to 25 lakh of loan can be given, and largely it is for equipment finance. It is not for the working capital. And another important benefit is that here it can be taken as a quasi equity where some portion of amount can be converted into equity or some warrants can be attached. And the repayment period is quite lucrative. Here the moratorium is up to 36 months and the loan can be taken up to 10 years. There's another scheme, credit guarantee scheme for startups, and here the target segment is startup and SMEs, and here the loan quantum is up to 10 CR, annual guarantee is 2%. Here you will see, normally we will see the ROI of EBLR plus margin, which converts into close to what, around it converts into close to around 12 to 12.5% of interest rate. And eligibility is reached to stable revenue of 1 year in same business, not a defaulter list in eligible for the startup certificate. It's the company should not be in the defaulter list, and eligibility for startup certified by members institution as per CGSS policy. So if I see that if your client need a small loan, definitely you can look into Smile that is given by SIDBI or Prime or Mudra loan. In case the larger amount is required, you can look into CGTMSC and CGSS schemes. This is what I was calling earlier SISFS scheme, Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. This is a scheme launched by India in 2015, wherein the loan quantum is from 20 lakh to 50 lakh is funded by the incubators. Normally, I think 20 lakh is towards a grant is given and 50 lakh is given towards the convertible note or redeemable debentures. The target sector is early stage startups and where proof of concept, prototype development, product trial, it is in product trials. And as you will see that the target segment, after reading it, you will realize that the loan is given to the companies wherein there may not be any revenue streams because those are early stage startups. So many of the companies have taken the benefit of it. And like here, the thought process of SIS, thought process of incubator is that largely they expect to exit in 3 to 4 years. And again, like the interesting situation is that here, all these incubators always in a hurry to, not in a hurry, after checking and confirming, they normally release the amount within 45 days. So if a company, if your clients are in early stage startup, or as in one of the question, people ask that the company don't have any revenue line. So SISFS is the right product for such kind of people, and it is widely available. It is widely available for, across all the states in India. Here, actually, like whenever we are dealing with SME sector, I try to capture the pain of a SME founder. As a startup and SME, normally the founders always go to their short contacts. What are their short contacts? The local branch manager who don't have much idea about it because there are specific branch targeted towards SMEs and startups. They go to their accountants or fellow entrepreneurs who are equally clueless, or their friends and relatives who will not able to guide them properly. Ideally, as a CA, we need to guide our client, and as a founder as well, they need to go to the right forum to get the right information. They should go to their MSME forums or government funding institutions, your NSCI centers. Go to MSME scheme website, like in the website, everything is available. They need to talk to the right business and finance consultants, so on and so forth. So this is classic, like which line which I always love to read and say that it's said by Mahatma Gandhi that public should be educated to become self-reliant. Once they know what they have got to stand on, once they know that they have got to stand on their own legs, it would electrify the atmosphere. That's what our SMEs are doing time and again. And trust me, the way our SMEs gone through a tough phase, a really tough phase, if I see like be it a 2000 dot-com burst or 2008-9 of subprime crisis or 2020 to 22 of COVID crisis, in all the crises, our SMEs are still there. Though there are some of the SMEs, unfortunately, there are collateral damages, but thanks to our government proactiveness, both state and central government, our SMEs still exist and they are the backbone of our economy. Sachinji, I covered the session bit early. I'm open for any of the questions for next 15 minutes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Deepak ji. It has been a wonderful and enriching session for us and our audiences. Let me take some more questions if they have. Mr. Rana, do you have any other questions which have come up?
Yes, sir, we have a few questions. I'm just sending you. That much question we have on it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Deepak ji, the first question is, are there any special initiatives for startups? It's a very open question. It may be related to the funding. It may be related to the incentives or to any other policies of the government.
Sure. If I say about the startups, um, Bangalore is in Karnataka and it's the Silicon Valley of East. So there are companies which raised billions of dollars. There are companies who are raising millions of dollars as we speak. So the benefit and ecosystem in Bangalore is quite matured. And thanks to the government initiatives that there are startup hubs in multiple parts of Bangalore. Started by government. There are startup hubs in Bangalore, Belagavi, Kaluburgi, Mysore, and some of the other places of Bangalore, be it in Hubli as well, there are a couple of centers, right? And there's like T Hub is the state government owned incubator for Telangana. Similarly, K Hub is there for Karnataka, which organize many of the startup events. It gives a lot of incubations and acceleration services to the startups, and that covers the include starting from the funding. It covers the mentorship. It covers bunch of other discounted rates for AWS or for Google, for your for Google storage, G Suite services, many other areas. Coming to specifically on the financial assistance side, SISFS that I covered before, this scheme is available only for the early stage startups. Early stage startups are the startups whose who are in the ideation stage or prototype stage, or companies who are who have not proved their proof of concept, POC is not yet done. In those companies can apply for SISFS. And there are many universities, there are many private players who are registered with the Government of India Startup Seed India plan, and they are providing those kind of capitals to the companies. This is, I'm talking about all the state and central government funded. Now coming to the private sector, be it Bosch or Infosys, or like many of the VCs, Peak 5, Peak 15 is there, Excel is there. So many of those private VCs also have their startup programs, and it's pretty mature platform. In case if you are in Karnataka and if you are in Bangalore, you are in the right place at right time to raise your funding.
I guess for startups, Indian government, central government had also declared funding up to 10 CR to various startups from the banks.
Oh, I'm not heard about any of the companies who avail that facility, 10 CR for early stage startups.
Yeah.
So um, definitely I will look into it. Not heard about it. What's the name of the scheme, Sachinji?
I think DPIIT registration has to be done, and then you can go to a bank where they can fund up to 10 CR, and now this limit has been increased to 20 CR for startups. So I will come back to you on this with full details. But
Sure.
yes, some of the banks are doing.
Okay. Maybe I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
about
No worries.
it. But very interesting if at a seed stage, if any companies are getting 10 CR or 20 CR, good part is that, like again, depending upon the fine prints, it will be a good boost. Because if I see many of the startups, especially in the SaaS space, a company do need at least 500K to make sure that they develop a decent product in a span of 1 to 1.5 years.
Right. The next question is, how should a CA advise on MSME unit on compliance with conditions attached to government incentives? So, did you get my question?
I got your questions. I'm just thinking aloud here. The question is that how to guide the MSMEs on the compliances when they are availing certain government benefits.
Like we were discussing about the CAs who are our, the one who are our audiences, and obviously they would be interested to understand, to consult to their clients what are all the incentive schemes. So I think the slide covers everything, if I am not wrong. Ha-
I
As far as
think,
the government initiatives are concerned or the incentives are concerned, that you can throw some light on.
see, on the government incentives, whenever anyone is taking CGT MSE loan, so the loan is given by the banker, and as per the loan agreement, there are certain things attached to it in terms of regular payments and in terms of their what are their do's and don'ts, whatever covenants attached to the agreements. So as a CA, definitely when they are making their compliance calendar, they need to ensure that they are aware, they should be aware of those covenants. Apart from that, I don't think so. From the government side, over and above, some compliance restrictions comes. So largely whatever is there, it should be there in the covenants.
Right. So I'll explain the covenants. Explain to the audience, the covenants are the conditions attached to that particular scheme or in loan, where you have to comply every month or maybe quarterly or semi-annually. For example, providing drawing power statements or stock and book debt statements to the relevant bank who is funding you. So these are called the covenants.
Another important thing, Sachin ji, here, what I request our CA friends is that whenever any information is given to the bank, they need to ensure that informations are correct. Knowingly or unknowingly, incorrect information should not go out, because
Right.
that always create a hindrance in future to increase or modify the terms or do anything in case if it comes into the notice of banker or any of the regulators.
Right. Got your point. Relevant point. Uh, the next question is there a single window clearance system for MSMEs under the policy?
Unfortunately, no, there are no single window clearance. I'm not sure what kind of clearances we are talking about. Like in case of Gujarat and Maharashtra, there are single window clearances for a bunch of licenses when any company is going into manufacturing. In case of Karnataka, still it don't exist. So now, if the question is intended towards, say, any of the schemes, if a company is in Khadi Gramodyog or Coir, so there are separate industrial body, nodal body for that. They need to approach those bodies. But most of the cases, 90% of the cases, whatever financial assistance we talk about, all of them are available through our commercial bank or SIDBI or NABARD. There are a bunch of incentives like for JDD schemes where certain discounts are given for certifications. And under NSIC, there are a bunch of benefits which are available. For that, they need to reach out to those specific agencies.
Right. The next question is, are there any special provisions for artisan-based traditional industries?
A bunch of things are there. For handicraft and handlooms, it is there. For the Suvarna Vastra policy, retail trade policy is there. The bunch of schemes are available. So it depends upon which industry a company is. And when I see the numbers of, SMEs registered, like I'm just telling you some of the names of district, like in Bagalkot, there are close to 10,000 MSME entities. Like some of the places, Bidar has close to 9,600. Gadag has 4,000 MSME entities. And out of that, close to each of the state, when I was looking into the statistics and comparing that, out of the total number of SME registered, how many companies has taken the government incentive, government policy incentives and benefit, at least 30% of them got the benefit on an average across. Rather, I have seen that in Bangalore itself, there are close to in Bangalore urban, there are 1,78,000 entities registered. Sorry, my bad. In Bangalore, 28,000. In Bangalore and Bangalore rural, there are 4,000 entities. So close to 32,000 entities are there in Bangalore urban and rural. Out of that, only 18 or 19% has taken the government benefits. So rather, I can see that in tier 2, tier 3 towns, SMEs, as of now, the statistics, I can see people are taking more benefits from the government incentives.
Right. The next question is, how does the policy ensure inclusivity for minority entrepreneurs and promote social equity? Do we have any specific policy for minority community? Is it?
No, and I will not go in the debate of is it required or not, but I don't think so. It is available. It is solely available on the basis of eligibility criteria. For women and SC/ST, there are separate things given, but I don't think so specifically anything carved out for minority. And I'm not sure which minority we are talking about.
Right. I think we will leave this question because a very complex issue to discuss. The next and the last question is, any training available by government for public or MS for public or MSME registration individual to know new business and guidance to operate so that they can start new stream of business?
Uh, Hundreds of trainings are available in person, online. Go to NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation website. There are NSIC training centers. There are MSMEs institutes where some or other training keep on happening. So where is the will? There is a will, there is a way.
And
So
you are rightly said, NSIC and other institutes, and I think the as far as the business idea is concerned, that is only the specific individual's idea. It is all about how they should set up and register. That I think there are finance professionals, MSME professionals, where they can reach out to and then can take some guidance and consultation from them. Am I right, Deepak ji?
absolutely, Sachin ji. On one more thing, though I have not, two things I think I missed it. We have some close to 7 minutes of time, and I would love to capture this in this session. One is I'm not sure that how many of the people know about ODOP, one district, one product. And it's more of our beloved Prime Minister's vision of making local thing global. It's more of a global is a word that was connotated around few years back. And if I see the way the government is moving in last 2 decades, especially in last 1 decade, where a lot of incentive initiatives was there in Make in India, and then making local to global initiatives. ODOP was in the same path where it is defined as one district, one product. For each of the districts of India, few products are identified. Those are really good, happen to grow really well. For example, in Mysore belt, we identified agarbatti. In Kerala, some of the states, your banana and what do you say, banana and pineapple. In Tamil Nadu, in some of the states, silk grows well. So silk is one district, one product initiative. Now, what government is doing is that government is preparing a separate line of thoughts and initiatives to promote that product from that place to across India. Supply chain is specifically developed. There are separate trade fairs happening for ODOP products. There are international delegates who are coming and seeing the product and giving orders. Right. So in this way, there's a strong initiatives which are given. What I strongly suggest to our CA friends that just see if your clients are in OD are doing something in ODOP for your particular state, your particular district, or there is no harm in looking into the clients who are falling or creating the value in that ODOP product. Recently, I attended one seminar which was addressed by our industry minister, Indian Industry Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, and he was reaching out to the Indian diaspora outside US in San Francisco, where he was giving a strong push to the Indians over there to look into the ODOP product and try buying it or create a supply chain over there. So you can see that this kind of thought is coming from top to the bottom, wherein all these products are are like marketed by the government itself. And most of the companies, if you see that, like go to your see the product ODOP product, and see that most of the companies who are dealing with ODOP are small scale industries. So there are a bunch of incentives and initiatives available. Just see your client, know your client, understand what's the need, and then you will able to have a proper matchmaking in terms of what you need and what is available. Still, I will cover 2 minutes. I will cover in terms of US tariff, which kicked in on 2nd of April. So 2nd of April, as you all know that, like close to 26% tariff was imposed on an average, close to 26% tariff was imposed on any of the Indian goods exported to US. Now, again, it is bring down to 10%. Again, it is not clear that in some of the website and news, it is showing 8%. Some places it is showing 11%. Say, go with the number 10%. Now, keeping in mind this 10% of tariff, it is hard hitting to all the medium sector enterprises and small and medium sector enterprises, because what it is entailing that the cost, I'm not sure that how much a company is in position to negotiate the revised price with their foreign client, but definitely this 10% increase, it is huge. And no one knows what's going to happen after 3 months, because there's a pause of 75 days or 90 days by the US government on this 26% tariff. Uh, Personally, I really doubt that 26% will be 26%. In my view, it will moderate down to 5% or 8% or 10%. So it's very important for the companies here to have an open conversation with their US counterparts, US clients or dealers or distribution channel where the cost is increasing. When I was analyzing some of the data from India side, especially the companies in Bangalore, I noted that electronics segment is like electronics, like one of the some of the manufacturing unit are there in Karnataka, and Karnataka export close to $2 billion of electronic product to US. That is becoming bit hard hit, because again other countries are in better position, some advantageous position. In terms of textile and apparel, this is better for India, because the tariff for Vietnam and Bangladesh is close to 46% and 37%, but for Indian goods it is 10%. So as of now, it seems beneficial, but again, we don't know. The situation is very fluidic, and Karnataka do export a significant close to around 500 to $800 million of textile and apparels to outside India. And I believe that close to $400 million is provided by SME sector. Gems and jewelry is a hard the sector which is already relaying through huge pressure. It is continued to be in the pressure because of tariff. Auto parts, again, like here there is a significant challenge, but here, because China is tariff is pretty high, there is some silver lining, but still auto sector will also struggle because of this tariff. Digital services, like as of now, I don't see any major impact. And Bangalore is like on the services part, there are no tariff as such announced. So that will not be major affected by this US tariff. So I think that
Great,
concludes
Deepak
my
ji.
session, Sachin ji.
It has been a very, very nice conversation. And I guess it was a very well drafted and elaborated session. And obviously, there are n number of queries which can come, and which I think you can be contacted at the mobile number and the email which is written in front of our screen. So people can also note down. And anything else, Ranaji? I think that was all about today's session.
Yes, sir. That was all about.
Thanks everyone for joining the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, yes, sure.
So anything else, sir, like this session?